What are teens today not ready to hear? As you get older, you just keep realizing how dumb you were last year. Every day I realize how stupid I was the day before. I actually like this because it means I'm always improving. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Ernest Hemingway. The older you get, the faster it goes. Yesterday, I was you. Tomorrow, you'll be me. One day you'll wake up and wonder where the plenty of time to do X went. It will scare the crap out of you. Pink Floyd said it perfect. Tired of lying in the sunshine, staying home to watch the rain. Are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today, and then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. I listened to that song all the time when I was a teenager and never really gave it a thought. Then I listened to it when I was 40 and was like, oh. Yeah, this song hits different at 42. Try at 65. I was in high school when it came out. Wow, that must be wild. Hate to do this to you, but next year it will be half a century since this album came out. It's aging like wine. Yes, it is. It's always on my playlist. I saw them for the first time on the Animals tour. Then with just Gilmore. And with my son and his collage buddies when Waters did the Dark Side of the Moon tour. Over 10 years ago. We got pretty toasted for that one. Being controversial isn't the same as being interesting. In the adult world, getting into fights doesn't make you look cool, it just makes you look stupid. And one wrong fight can leave you brain damaged or on trial for manslaughter. When Ruach Peopledy was around, it was filled with fights where someone got punched, fell over and hit their head on the ground and then died. So many young people dying over stupid things. I know someone who was drunk and another much drunker guy came up to them looking for a fight. Long story short, the guy defended himself. The aggressive man had an undiagnosed tumor in his brain which ruptured and he died. Now this guy has to live with this for the rest of his life due to someone being idiotic. Luckily they got off with no jail time as it was self-defense and they were both drunk and obviously undiagnosed. But I think the mental damage of having killed someone accidentally is punishment enough. I wonder if the brain tumor could have been part of the reason he was being so weirdly aggressive. Could have been totally unrelated, but those things can totally mess with your personality. Very sad story. Poor guy defending himself didn't ask for that. It 100% changes you. Living in constant pain, whether or not you recognize it's there, will make you a very angry, sad, bitter person. I was in chronic body pain for a long time from many injuries. Constant scrutinizing pain. Went on an acid trip and I felt my body without pain for the first time in a long time. I've been chasing that ever since through yoga mobility meditation dissociation techniques. I feel more aggressive and hostile when the pain level goes up. I get very easily irritated. This all is a major contributor, but completely skips the damage a tumor in the brain does to proper functionality. So it could very well have been the tumor itself causing him to act aggressively. Just because it's new to you doesn't mean it's new. I majored in literature in college, I teach now, and I remember 18 to 20-year-old me being fascinated by how human nature stayed the same from hundreds of years ago. At that age, I couldn't fathom that those old people actually made sex jokes or had certain technologies. Reading across the ages really made me wiser and hip to the fact that humans are basically all the same, we just have different settings we grow up in. Same thing across country cultural lines. I remember when I traveled to India and the culture shock was super jarring, felt like I had teleported to a different universe. Then when we were driving around Agra I saw a group of teenage boys cracking up and pointing. Those duckers had drawn the most glorious, veiniest dick that I had ever seen on the wall in chalk. Doesn't matter if you live in India, Germany, Egypt or the USA, everyone draws and laughs at Dick's Lamau. The great unifier. One of the oldest debated works of art in the world is a rock that may have been carved to look like a penis. I say debated because while it does look a lot like a dick, it might just have formed that way totally coincidentally. But it was found deep in a cave known to have been used by ancient humans and it's very much the wrong kind of rock to belong there, so if it wasn't carved, at the very least some ancient dude just thought haha this rock looks like a dick. And carried it into the cave. Shit, Pompeii, which was encased in volcanic ash for thousands of years, was covered in dick graffiti. Plus shit like this, SFW, Imgur.com dicks always have been, and always will be funny. Putting every aspect of yourself online is unsafe. Nobody needs to know your list of triggers or your address or your blood type. Some Twitter bios are long enough to be in a Star Wars intro. That's how I'm reading them from now on. With John Williams' score in the background, lol, maybe I could find one of those sites that generate the title crawl for you with your input. One day you too will be old and uncool. And it'll happen faster than you think. When I was like 25 and stepbrother chuckled at me and said nobody says stoked anymore, I had that moment for the first time. The moments have only increased since. I refuse to give up on stoked. I still say rad. You won't feel different when you're older, or have kids. You'll just be you. It's weird. Life as a continued experience is weird. When I was much younger, I would always think about all the ways it'd be different when I was older, but I'm still just me. Somewhat wiser and taller, but still the same me I've always been. It's strange, but I think I've enjoyed getting older and growing to know myself better. I might as well be teenage me in a grown-up suit pretending I'm an adult. That's what it feels like sometimes. Everything you do as a teenager will be cringe to your children. Everything I did as a teenager is cringe to me, tbh. I, teenager, cringe at myself as I do things. Condoms are for STDs too, even though there are other ways to avoid pregnancy. STDs are the main reason I use them. School has a system in place to keep you from falling behind, life doesn't. Yup. Life will run you over if you duck around. And even if you have your shit together, you could be one financial crisis away from losing it all. For ducking, sure. Been run over so many times at this point I've proposed to the asphalt but still no response. Edit, it's beyond depressing, this is my most upvoted comment ever, but hey, que sera lol. Asphalt 2 has commitment issues. Those are probably not friends for life, okay, slim chances for some. This hits hard. Too hard. I lost contact with most of my school friends by now. I am only 30. I'm 21 and only talk to one friend I had in high school still. I'm 25 and as of last year I no longer talk to anyone from high school. I'm 73, and last week I talked to the guy who sat beside me as a high school freshman 60 years ago this month. To the ones who ride the public bus in my city, specifically, nobody else wants to hear whatever TikTok you're watching. Buy some headphones. My dad's a teenager? Anything less than 80% is not worth listening to. Not everybody can be an internet sensation, somebody has to drive the dump truck. And sanitation is a pretty solid business, too. Yeah, don't believe the guidance counselor saying you have to go to college and then saying something like you don't want to be a garbage man plumber, do you? The garbage man and the plumber make bank with no student loan debt. Garbage man is a city job here that pays to start $25 HR and you get benefits and union membership. I'll gladly be a ducking garbage man lol. Also, plumbers make more money than school counselors. Like a lot more lamau. Please shower. Back in my day you got roasted for being the stinky one. That dick pic you sent, got screenshotted and sent to 5 other people. And they're still saving your nudes, even if you sent them on Snapchat and think they can't screenshot without your knowledge. They can. Take it from a zillennial who knows from experience. Screen recorder has entered chat. You're closer to being the older person in any given setting than you think. And by old I mean like 30. Got nieces and nephews just starting kindergarten? Ha! Blink and they're starting college.